folks. Here we are, getting all set up. I'll start the chats. And I'll start off with a good evening. All right, now I like to get on here a few minutes early, like to share it with some I'm just looking at a few things here. Interesting. And wondering why I can't share this yet. Brian, hey boss, live from Detroit, Michigan. Oh, Detroit. All right. Haven't been there since I was there in 2005 or 2006. So, all right. Well, enjoy Michigan or Detroit specifically. All right. That's cool. Very, very cool. Got to get you on Chiller Chat, Brian, as soon as we can. All right, now share these. Huh. That's weird. I used to get on here and it let me share it onto my page, Brian Hoag's page. Doesn't look like it's gonna let me do that tonight. I couldn't do that last week either. So I'm not getting as many views, but I guess why? Why does this happen to me? Oh. And last but not least, look at it. We got 2 minutes left. We got all kinds of time. Got lots of wiggle room. More options. Share to a group. We'll put this to Chiller Night. Well, bam! Look at that. It's shared. I'm gonna try one more. No, I can't. Share via. Oh, no, that ain't working either. Okay, all right. Well, I see how it is. It's acting up on me. Ghoul World Order. Hey, Brian, how's your Saturday treating you? Buzzkiller Talking Zombie from Western Pennsylvania. So far, so good. I can't complain. Can't complain. John says, this is not a test. This is Chiller Night Pre-Show with Brian Hoag. This is Krozak. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It is not a test. No, and you won't have to memorize nothing, and spelling doesn't count. So, Brian says, I am, boss. All right, cool. You're having a good time. Brian says, good times. Brian says, we were at the Tigers game. Haha. That's what I did. That's what I definitely went to a game when I was there. Oh, hey, it's 8 o'clock, and then we'll get back to the comments here. Time to begin. Hey everybody, this is Brian Hoag. Welcome to the Chiller Night Live pre-show. This is Saturday, May 15th, and from 8 p.m. until a few minutes shy of 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I will sit here and chat with you folks, and you'll be chatting with myself and each other. And we'll be discussing the Chiller Night television programming come on later on at 9 p.m. Beginning at 9 p.m., I'd like to say. until 3:30 in the morning. It's just crazy, you know. But that's going to be coming up at 9 p.m. and I'll show you very shortly what we have in store for you. All right, and you can watch by now. I don't think the Roku channel's back up yet for Stream TV. I checked. I didn't see it, and I wasn't notified that it's back up. However, you can still watch it if you're in the Venango County. That's your local channel, your local TV channel, and in the Oil City area. But many of you are not. So hop on over to Stream TV, Stream Media TV. Let me try that again. Hop on over on the keyboard to streammedia.tv and go to Stream Television's website. You can watch everything right there off of the website. So don't like to sit in front of a computer screen all the time? Not a problem. If you got a smartphone, there's something called Screen Mirror. Get it on there. Boom. Now it's on your TV. It's crazy how easy this is. So it's so easy a zombie could do it. Little Geico commercial. So check it out. Hope you get a chance, and I'll tell you here in just a few shakes of a werewolf's tale what's coming up. John says it's time for Chili Night pre-show with Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand back from his stint in Facebook jail. Remember, Thursday night is Chili Night. Okay. Well, we're glad that you've been released and you were amongst us again. Ghoul World Order says I bought some horror on VHS today. Boy, yes, the best kind. David says, good evening. Champagne popped and poured. Cheers. All right. Thanks for joining us, David. TJ Emmanuel says, hello, Brian and the Chili Night crew. Hey, TJ, thanks for joining us. Ava, oh, Ava, my baby, give me a heart from Cranberry Venango. All right. Right back at you, baby. Hope you're having a good time. Brad says, it's a Chili Night pre-show with Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogue. Now, here's Brian. What's on tonight, Brian? It is, Tom says, hello, all you degenerates. Hey, Tom. All right, well, here's the schedule. We'll hop back on those chats here. 9 p.m. All right. The Snake People, starring Boris Karloff. And 11 p.m. Chiller Chat. That's the one I did earlier this week live. That was from the 11th. That will be new to Stream TV tonight. 11:30, Chiller Night Theater. The movie is The Brain That Wouldn't Die. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. May the 4th be with you. All right, that was from 2 weeks ago. The one we did on 5/4. All right, Star Wars Day. And it is, well, I don't want to give away too much and tell you what the topic is. All right, 2 a.m., Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter. There you have it. That is the schedule for tonight. Brian Evers says, hello. Oh, hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. Roger Carroll says, hello. Hey, Roger. Let's see. TJ says, we're degenerates now. Last week, we were nuts. Brad says, rest in peace, ECW legend New Jack. Yeah, that's right. He just passed away just a few days ago. Or was it yesterday or the day before? I don't even know. Ghoul World Order said, hey, that's not cool. Zombies can do a lot of things. Well, and they can also, one of those a lot of things that you claim is tune in to streammedia.tv. Gotta reel it back in. Tom says, LOL, TJ. Brian says, hey, boss, I owe you ready to wrestle? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Hey. All right. Hey. I would love to bring it all back. I'd love to bring it all back. I talk about it often with Abe about Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, so we'll see. But in the meantime, let me know when you get back, or I'll just I'll pester you, and we will get you on an episode of Chiller Chat. I'd love to have you on and talk about well, just chat about chiller movies, and also wrestling, of course. TJ Manuel, it's me, Bonehead Brian. Right, right. No, I remember. Kevin says, "Hey Brian, it's your classic horror friend here. Kevin watching Omen 4: The Awakening, TV horror movie related to the Omen films. Did you ever see the movie?" I don't know. No, I've not seen up to Omen 4. No. I saw the first couple, but I've never seen up to. I didn't even know. To be honest with you, there was an Omen 4 prior to today when you were posting that stuff. So, um, yeah. Well, enjoy. I hope you enjoy that. That sounds cool. Ghoul World Order says, "How ironic! I saw the Snake People on VHS for sale today." Oh yeah, yeah. That's an entertaining one. Diana says, "Hi everybody. Hey Diana, thanks for joining us." John says, "Good evening. Good evening. I bid you welcome." All right, gave it a shot. All right, thanks, John. Laser Corn says, "Hey peeps." Sandra, "Hi everybody." John says, "Hello." Many salutations are being exchanged. That's cool. TJ says, "Well, where's our sweetheart of Scream, Miss Glamfangs?" Oh, I wonder if Glam's with us. I don't know. Skip says, "Good evening." Like a little vampire there. Brian says, "Hey boss, you ready to wrestle?" Sure. All right. That sounds fun. I want to get you know what I want? Ava and I have been talking about this. Now, this is not something I want to do, you know, real presently because of the cost of everything, but I would love to have my own venue, my own building to where I can just leave everything up. I don't have to set up and tear down, set up and tear down. Lights, already positioned, the where the crowd's gonna sit. Everything is right there. Lights, camera, action. And things don't have to be set up until we're down. I think that'd be awesome. That's one of my dreams. I would love to have. And here's another one. I would love to have a building big enough to where I could actually have Dark Horse Championship Wrestling permanently venued, and also the haunted house. It'd be awesome. So that's one of my dreams. I'll throw it out there and see what happens. Um, Brad says, "Did you see a glimpse of Resident Evil 8 Village yet, Brian?" I did not, but I do have something about Resident Evil I'm going to be bringing up. It's not about that because I didn't see that one, Brad. Brad says, "DCW, DCW, DCW," and then TJ says, "One of the inmates are missing." What? Oh, for Glam, she's still missing. Oh, there she is. Okay, Glam says, "Howdy, everyone, and great seeing so many folks on tonight. I'm running fashionably late tonight, but greetings to you all." Well, thanks for joining us, Glam. Brad says, "Perfect place for DCW wrestling. Your very own venue." Yeah, I would love to have that. Love to have that. Now you brought up Resident Evil 8. Now I've not seen that. I didn't see any trailer, but I looked today, and one of you guys had said that the Netflix Resident Evil series will be featuring on Netflix in July. I looked that up today, actually just right before the show here, and it looks like that's happening. So it's going to be now. What I didn't know, I thought it was going to be a live action, and it's not. It's a CG computer graphics anime done much in the same vein of anime art. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness is what it's called. You guys see that okay? Let me make that a little bigger. Coming in 2021. Well, supposed to be coming in July. So that's a neat video game. At least the first couple were. I didn't follow it too much after that, but I enjoyed the first movie, and then they I don't know. I forget. I don't even know how many they made, but I enjoyed the first Resident Evil movie. Is that horror? No, I mean I didn't look at it. It's just more of a horror action, I guess. But the games did have a real a real horror feel to them. I really enjoyed those first couple games. So, and speaking of that, the characters from Resident Evil 2, which is Leon Kennedy, remember him, the new rookie cop, and Claire Redfield. Those two are the characters actually pictured here are going to be on there. And I was looking at I saw the trailer to that, and the graphics look really cool. I mean, it doesn't look like, cartoonish or anything like that. It looks really cool. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go. But that's all the Resident Evil news that I have. I don't know about the other games or anything like that. I thought I'd mention that. TJ says, John, Tom, Diana, and Lasercom. The head count is complete now. The missing miss has been found. Tom says, Glam. Terrence says, UFO. I know, it misses me by that much. I said, I should get hazardous pay. I should get pay. But let alone hazardous pay. Look, every week I sit out here in the horror realm, in the dark domain. I wheel this desk out here, like a little kiosk, I guess, and in front of Castle Shadow, and I put myself in harm's way every week from 8 to 9, just to talk chiller. So I hope it's appreciated. I could go at any moment here. Werewolves and witches and all that. TJ says, hello to the best bunch of people around the Chiller Night crew. John says, Resident Evil Infinite Darkness will not be directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Yay. No, it won't. It was. I saw the name of the guy directing it. It was not that, but I don't remember. Who was doing it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it is. I don't get my hopes up too high with anything anymore. But I'll check it out just because I like the first two games so much. I don't know. What do you guys think? Forward to that. Another thing I was looking forward to is Creepshow Season 2. Now, I don't have Shudder because we kept having problems with that channel, so we dropped it after Season 1. I did see Creepshow Season 1. Okay? I enjoyed that, spearheaded by Greg Nicotero, of course. Most of you know Greg Nicotero, I'm sure. If not from The Walking Dead, being an executive producer there, of course you know him from, if you know George Romero's zombie movies, and shame on you if you don't. But he obviously was very active in working on special effects and Day of the Dead. He was one of the soldiers there. He got his head cut off. I actually saw that the actual head, it was on display in one of Tom Savini's haunted houses in Station Square in Pittsburgh when I lived down there. And Brad says the Resident Evil 2 graphics at the time on PlayStation were great. Even the remake is great. I didn't know that they made a remake, but yeah, I thought that they were outstanding. I really did. It was just such a really creepy atmosphere. I loved it. I just loved it. It just felt like I was watching a movie. Like I was involved in a movie, and maybe that's how you're supposed to feel watching these things. Speaking of watching, though, with Creepshow 2, the only thing, now I haven't seen it, and I don't know how many of you have, if you have the Shudder channel, but what I heard, now you remember I had Phil Wilson on Chiller Chat, and he gave me one of the animation cells from Creepshow 2. It was actually one of the animation cells from Creepshow 2. And he was one of the animators, he and Rick Catazone, who, Rick was one of my instructors at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, by the way, back in the 90s, back in the day. And he and Phil, they worked on the animation segments for the first Creepshow movie, Creepshow 2, and the Creepshow series that appeared on Shudder, Season 1. My understanding is they didn't do animation for Season 2, and I think that's wrong, because otherwise, I mean, that's what, in my opinion, that's what made Creepshow that, you know, give it that creep show feel, because it's, you know, derived from the EC comics. So, or at least it's a kind of a tribute to the old EC comics, like Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Vault, and that type of thing. But I was disappointed to hear that they were not doing the animation. So let's see. Ghoul World Order says Greg Nicotero was also one of the bikers from Dusk Till Dawn. That's right, the one that Sex Machine Tom Savini took the bottle from. Yeah, if my memory serves correct, that's right. He seems like such a cool guy. Lasercorn says, I nearly forgot your metal mission tonight. Should you choose to accept it, is gotta build this up. Savia by Soen, and I don't even know if I said that right, but Savia by Soen, that's the way it's looking to me. So there you go, your metal mission tonight. Look that up, listen to it, love it, and but don't do it during chiller night theater. We gotta prioritize this stuff. All right, so there you have it. But have any of you seen Creepshow season 2 yet? I don't know. I think that I saw where there was a list of 5 episodes. I don't know if they're having more or if they're only up to 5. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know, and we'll go from there. So we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. There you have it. I don't know. To me, like I said, the animation's what made it, what gave it that creep show feel. You know, otherwise it's just an anthology series. I mean, not just like that's a bad thing, but to give it the creep show, the actual creep show feel, I just think it needs that has to have the animation. Even if they're just a little 30-second segments, you know, that doesn't have to be spectacular. I mean, as far as you know, the length of the segments don't have to be all that lengthy, I guess, but just something to give it that feel. That's what I want. I don't think that's asking for too much. All right, Michelle says, well, she don't say anything, but she gives a really cool looking skull there. And thanks, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. All right. The heck? Where'd everybody go? Where'd you all go? All right. But anyways, those are the 2 things that I'd like to see. Looking forward to it from Dusk Till Dawn. I remember seeing that, by the way, in the theater, and I enjoyed that movie. I thought that was really cool. A very cool movie, From Dusk Till Dawn. And then they made a series of that, and I couldn't tell you anything about it because I never watched the series From Dusk Till Dawn. Don't know if it was worth it. Don't know if it was. Ghoul World Order says I'm still here. What do you think? Have you ever seen the series From Dusk Till Dawn? I know. Wasn't Tom Savini in that too? But I don't think he was playing the character that he was playing in the movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I started out saying I don't know anything about it, but from what I was reading, I think he came on to play a different character. TJ says, I'm still here. All right. I thought we had a glitch. Robert says, I agree. Big fan of Creepshow, and no animation is a travesty. Yeah. I mean, what would make it Creepshow? The creep? Okay. That's fine. But if it's not, if it's not an animated segment, it's, in my opinion, it's just it's another Tales from the Crypt. I love Tales from the Crypt, but Creepshow is Creepshow because it has the little animated segments, and I want to see them back. So, and I asked about that. I asked if they were going to have the animated segments, and that was a while ago, and apparently not. All right, so Gold World Order says, I saw the first season of From Dusk Till Dawn series. Tom Savini was in the third season. Okay. Gary Busey's son played Sex Machine, a very different character. Oh, okay. All right. That's kind of odd, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it made sense in the story. Let's see. Brad says, with the Harrisville Haunted House this year, they're having fairs this year, but they're not having carnival rides this year because of COVID. Are you having carnival rides this October? No, not that I'm aware of. We didn't have them last year either. We didn't have the rides. We just had vendors set up. So, but we didn't have rides last year, and I don't think that they'll be having them this year as well. So, at least that's not in the planning stages, as far as I'm aware. And I think somebody would have let me know. TJ says it makes it like watching a comic book. I like that. Yeah, I know that it just gave it that old like I said, that old EC Comics feel to it. I love that stuff. And then Glam says, don't underestimate animation. The Simpsons started off as a quick bit on the Tracy Ullman Show. I remember that. I remember watching it as it was. I remember watching the Tracy Ullman Show when it was first on there in the little segments, and look where they are now. But the animation is a fun and expected part of Creepshow. Right, right. Yeah, no, I remember that. No, I don't underestimate that at all. In fact, I think that's what gives it that flavor, that Creepshow flavor. So that's right. That's funny. Yeah, that was. I haven't thought about that for a long time, but yeah, they're still going strong. And I remember that back in like the 80s. I think the late 80s, maybe. Had to have been before I went into the Air Force, so I was still living at home. I think when I was watching Tracy Ullman Show. It was about that time when they had started that up with Star Trek: The Next Generation, Tracy Ullman Show, Friday the 13th series that wasn't about Jason at all. Um, but it was around that time, if I remember right. Let's see. Gold World Order says Sex Machine having blonde hair in the series was weird. Hard to process that in my zombified brain. Yeah, yeah. I saw the pictures and I thought the same thing. It's like, no, that's just wrong. Uh, at least just for me seeing that after seeing how great Tom Savini did that movie. TJ Emanuel says, I mean, after all, that's what Creepshow was originally meant to be, like the old EC Comics. Yeah, it was a tribute, a homage to them. So Terrence says, second UFO. All right. Maybe there's a little fleet and they're just a little slow. Can't keep up with each other. Brad says, I see Chili the Ghost. Yeah. There he is. He's up there every once in a while. Lagosly, Chili Lagosly, which we named a couple weeks ago. That's funny. Ghoul World Order said, I just saw the UFO. We need to shoot that thing down. Can we? Can the might of planet Earth dare stand up to the UFOs? We shall. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Tons of movies have been done along that line. TJ says, long as that UFO don't turn into a kamikaze, we're all right. Yeah, so far it hasn't crashed into me. It hasn't crashed into the castle back there. So, if it leaves us alone, we'll leave it alone. TJ says, pity poor Brian if it does. Yeah, I know. I'm right here at ground zero. Yeah, what am I gonna do? All right, so we learned that Sex Machine was a blonde-haired individual in the series, and let's see. Gore World Order said, now we're talking 50 sci-fi. The Martians are coming. Yeah, yeah. I just love that stuff. I'm a big fan of science fiction to begin with, but you know, those old invading flying saucers and all that from the 50s, and just that perfect drive-in picture. You know, I was working on another episode of Children Night Theater that I plan on having out real soon. I don't want to have it out just yet because I'm checking to see when the Stream TV Roku channel is going to be back up, because I want the most viewers as I could possibly have, and we'll get that once the Roku channel's up. But and that's again for this coming Tuesday for Chiller Chat. You know, I won't have a guest until I don't want to get any guests until I know the Roku channel's up, so that way they get maximum amount of viewers. So I was pretty happy with my viewership on the Roku channel and online. So I'm not big online yet for some reason. I don't know if I knew how to really promote and push myself online. I suppose I would, but or could, but that's all right. We'll get there. Goal World Order says, "Oh, I read that." TJ says, "Yep, that's hazardous duty pay." Yeah, yes, that's what I think. Brad says, "We should have a get together to Salem, Massachusetts one day. That'd be fun." Ethan and I were just talking about that too, because we had been, you know, we've talked about that here before. How neat that would be to get, I don't know, whoever wants to go and meet up in Salem. I think that'd be cool. We were watching something the other night that brought that, just last night, that had brought that topic up. It was some kind of on Discover Plus channel, something about Salem, you know, the witch trials and all that stuff in 1692, and she was looking to see if her relative, she's a direct descendant of Rebecca Nurse, eighth generation from Rebecca Nurse, who was put to death in Salem, Massachusetts. So, and that's Ava's maiden name is Nurse. So we were watching that, and that got us talking about that. Like, how cool would that be to do that? To all meet up there and just, I think that would be cool. I would love to do that. The only thing I don't want is all these, you know, restrictions and stuff like that. You know, you want to, you know, be safe and use, you know, reasonable guidelines. I'm all, you know, I'm for that. But you know, if everything is show your papers and all this and that, I think I'll wait a little bit longer, and then we'll try it when things have settled down a bit. So John says, or wait a minute, whoa. Brad says, I think they're upgrading to modern Roku devices for Stream TV like the one I have, which they should. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what all they're doing. All I know is that the channel is going to be, it's going to be better. That's all I mean, it was explained to me, but for me to sit here and tell you what exactly that means, I'm not real sure. Off the top of my head, but I do know this. I do know one thing that stands out is that you're going to be able to find it doing a Roku channel search, where before you can't. The only way that you could do that is to go to streammedia.tv and get the code off of that site. That was the only way you could do it. Now you'll be able to do a search and get the channel that way. So cool. And at that point, now this is still in the talks too about this show, the pre-show, actually being on TV, on TV and Stream TV, the Roku channel, and on streaming online from 8 until 9, and then boom, the rest of the Chiller shows. I don't know what that means. Begin at 9. So, and you could still watch it this way. And I can still chat with you guys if you wanted to watch it on Facebook and YouTube. It would just be an additional channel working that out. Not really aggressively working on it right now, just because this was happening here. This new channel conversion. So why get that hooked up and then have to redo it? So that's what's happening. Let's see. John says it would be nice if we could get invaded by space maidens, but with our luck, we get the big-headed bug-eyed types. Yeah, right. No, like Wonder Woman, Amazonian type or whatever. Yeah, we get the or ET looking things, you know. Like, you know. John says, oh, I just read that one. TJ says, well, Brian, you've definitely succeeded in gaining a loyal following, I believe. Yeah. This is a lot of fun, and I look forward to these on Saturday nights. You know, my Saturday night, I was so excited growing up watching Chiller Theater with Bill Chilly Billy Cardell, and you know, just to have any type of involvement, having my own Chiller themed show, such as this Chiller Chat, you know, Chiller Night Theater, and just to have, you know, viewers that are coming back every week. Thank you so much. I've said this 100 times, and you know, I don't take that lightly. I love the fact that you guys are coming and watching this stuff, and I'm able to share this with you, and makes a fella feel pretty good, I'll tell you. But I love this stuff, I really do, and thanks to all of you for joining in every week. Ghoul World Order says, one of these days, Ghoul World Order needs to film an episode in Salem. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be quite a goal for Ghoul World Order. So, yeah. So try it out. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let me know when you're going up. If you ever do. I mean, we've talked about it before, like everybody going up and meeting up there. And so, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Brad says, to all Roku devices. What? Which they should. I think they're upgrading. Well, I'm not sure what that. You should be able to watch it on all Roku devices. I guess, is that what you mean? I mean, I hope so. I wasn't. Yeah. Brad says, looks like you're getting another break, Brian. I'm getting another break? What? I don't know in what context I'm getting another break, but with the pre-show, he says, oh, yeah. You mean for me being on the Roku channel? I hope so. I mean, I don't know 100% if that's going to be possible, but it looks like it is, so I hope so. Fingers crossed. Not crossed, but crossed. Don't want to scare any vampires away. John says there's also in Pungo, Virginia. They also had witch trials as well. Is that right? Oh man, round them up. Jeez, that's awful, isn't it? I can't help it. My heart goes out to these people. It's like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. You know that they did that. Just so incited with fear, you know. Terrence says, I've been wondering why you didn't just stream all the Saturday night lineup on YouTube. Is it a licensing or DMCA thing? It's licensing. Yeah. YouTube, in fact, what's going on with I don't know if you noticed, even Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter, that episode, that's where it begins. That episode is not on YouTube, nor will it ever be. In fact, any new content from for Chiller Night Theater. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Any content from Chiller Night Theater. There's what I wanted. Will not be on YouTube. So I might as well just change I don't want to change the YouTube channel name. to Chiller Night instead of Chiller Night Theater. But that's it for the Chiller Night Theater episodes. They're only going to be available on Stream TV. So fed up. Fed up. I'm not the here. I'm not the here. I'm way, way up here with YouTube in regards to all that stuff. So, yeah. But that's it. Which I don't think it'll be that bad. I mean, um, you know, just hop on to Stream TV once it believe me, once that comes back on, I will be pushing it. I'll be letting everybody know. I give you step by step instructions. You know, do this, and you'll have it. And it's very easy. So remarkably, one of the easier things that I've managed to do with on the computer. Because things don't stick too well. Takes me a while. Just like that thing that Tom and I were working on, and it's been a couple weeks since we've last attempted this, but I know it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. It's just a matter of you know, I guess getting an evening, and I know that doesn't sound so difficult, but in a way it kind of is, because I am trying to get I try to get a lot done. But I also, you know, there's a lot of just everyday life. I'm sure you can understand, you know, pops up daily. So I wish I had more time. I just wish I had more time. But that's all right. We're getting there, folks. I mean, we're not sitting still by any means. We're not sitting still. We'll get all that figured out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put this back up again. I will. This is just so cool. Now, whoa, where'd it go? Change my shirt. But I'm sitting there. This was Tom and I after a couple, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago by now, just playing around with the Zoom. And I could hear him very well. I could see him. Well, you can see him right there. It's very clear. And that will be how Chiller Chat is done. It'd be kind of neat if every once in a while we have one of you guys zoom in. I think that'd be cool. Be probably pretty fun to do, but we'll see. But all that stuff, like I said, I don't have that all set up now, but I would imagine it's not going to be all that far into the future before we get that stuff. You know, whether this is on Stream TV, actually on the Roku channel, streaming, and then it goes into Chiller Night Theater and Chiller Chat throughout the night. And if that happens, there may be a shifting of how the schedule is set up. So there's not that gap in between the shows like we have now. That gap is right there right now, just for, I guess, more convenience to, you know, so everybody knows, oh, okay, this is on at this time, well, you know, 11:30, 11 o'clock, this, you know, a Chiller Chat, and they're 30 minutes, and okay, 11:30, Chiller Night Theater. I have it set up like that because I can't just say, oh, every Chiller Night Theater episode is going to be this long. Oh, I don't know that because, you know, the movies vary in length, so, but we'll get something nice set up in the 13th year of Jack Shadow being a horror host. We'll get some things improved this year, I believe. Let's see. Ghoul World Order. With our luck, we'll be greeted by Klaatu and Gort. Get ready for the power to go out. LOL. Well, we hope the power doesn't go out. LOL. But if something will go wrong, or can go wrong, it will, I suppose. Brad says, don't you forget Saturday night, 6:05 p.m. wrestling, Brian. Oh, I'll never forget that. That's some good times watching TV. Yep. Georgia Championship Wrestling. TJ says, Brian, could you imagine how Chilly Billy would have enjoyed this live chat that we have nowadays? Yeah, I would have loved to have had him on here. Well, I had him on Chiller Chat. You know, in fact, he was a guest on when we switched the show over to Chiller Night Theater. It was always my intent to, first of all, get his permission. even I know legally, like I didn't have to because it's not the same title. It was done as a homage to Chiller Theater, and I wanted it to reflect that. Um, so, but I did go to him. I asked him, you know, are you cool with that? And for him to tell me, Brian, I'd been fine, and you could have called it Son of Chiller, you know, and that was as such a fan of Chiller Theater and Bill Cardell. That to me, when he even told me that was just the biggest compliment, you know. Um, but yeah, I'm sure he would have been. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine, you know, having Chili Billy on there, you know, talking to him live like that, you know, and you could actually see him. But maybe we can do that with other people. I mean, maybe we could have like Donald Glued on there again. You know, we had him on before. I was talking about Star Wars and stuff. I mentioned him because he was the author of The Empire Strikes Back, and um, just does so much when it comes to horror and science fiction, writing tons of stuff. In fact, if you grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons in the 70s and 80s, you did see something written by Donald F. Glut. That's a given. That's a given. He's worked on way too many shows for you have not seen something from him. But or just you know pick anybody. You know, maybe we can do that. That would be awesome. Tom Glam says Tom, an IT tech superstar. I know he really was. He was so patient with me. He had to have been sitting there like, what, what this mean, Tom? You know, I don't know. Uh, yeah, folks, I'm bad. I'm bad with this stuff. Like you're looking at some of the results of what I've taken great lengths to muddle my way through and you know, and figure out to some extent. But I mean, I between lack of time and lack of knowledge, oh, this didn't come overnight. I'll tell you. No, that's funny though. Robert says, "When will the horror hosts dominate the TV screens again? We need them back again, all of them." I don't know. I don't know. That's you know, is it? I don't. You know, if you're syndicated, you know, you got it made, don't you? Because that would be the way to go if you could get syndicated, because then you could do licensed movies. That would be awesome. I would love to do that type of thing. I know Svengoolie, Elvira, is Elvira still doing stuff? I don't know. I hear stuff and then I lose track. I get distracted by something shiny and I forget. But yeah, there's not too many of them that can do that. Terrence says, third UFO, it's an official invasion. Oh no! Run away! Brad says, this stream TV on Roku upgrade better be worth it. Hope. I'm sure. I have no doubt. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. I just, I don't see how it couldn't. I mean, it's a new channel. It's going to be improved, and maybe it might even be a quality improvement too. I'm trying to remember all the stuff that is going to be different. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. TJ says, I meant if Chili Billy would have had live chat back in his day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that have been something? Oh, man. Yeah, because, I mean, he could have had, you know, he could have been talking to Vincent Price or, you know, just anybody, you know, jumping on there and having as a guest, you know, Christopher Lee and all those guys. That would have been pretty cool. That would have been neat. Yeah, can you imagine that? Could you imagine this technology now back in the 60s and 70s and into the early 80s when Chili Billy was doing his thing? Um, Ghoul World Order says the It's Alive show is my favorite late night horror show of all time. Oh yeah, mine was Chiller Theater. Mine was Chiller Theater. And in fact, I mean, of course, that's what inspired my show. Glam Fang says Chili Billy was a class act. He was supportive and encouraging instead of being self-absorbed and greedy. What a guy! Yeah, I'll tell you. One of the things that stood out to me, you know, there's this guy who's such a legend in Pittsburgh, and I knew him for about the last couple years before he had passed away in 2016, and I would talk to him on the phone. We went down to his home and you know spent some time there and interviewed him there for the show. And one of the things that really stood out to me, and he made it very clear to me, he doesn't do that very often, and he didn't do that very often, and but he was supporting what I was doing. He was helping me out, and for that I'm so appreciative. But when we would talk, he was. It was nothing to talk for 30, 40 minutes on the phone, uh, and he would be asking me questions. How are you doing? How's your job? How do you like it? He'd be asking me questions or ask me questions about Oil City, because he knew I was living there at that time, and that's uh, talking about times that he'd come up and visit Oil City and stuff like that. And we talk about wrestling, professional wrestling, because of course, I mean, if you're old enough to remember, or even if you've even heard of it, he was, of course, the voice of wrestling for Studio Wrestling, and we had some very lengthy conversations about that, and about him. We were going to do. He was going to have his own segment on my show. It was going to be like a 10 episode run, and then he said, "Well, and then I'll determine, whether we'll continue that or not." He says, "But what we could do is I'll do my own segment." He said, "We could have Jack Shadow like introduce me, and we'd be like with the castle setting. Jack would be there with Chili. Jack would introduce him, kind of just step off, let Chili do his thing, and he had an idea where he was going to talk about different celebrities that he had met, and just different memories of Chiller Theater, and I would have just, I can't tell you how much that would have meant to me. 6 days before I went down to film, we were going to film that all in one day, which would have been very easy to do, and then I was going to divide that up into a 10 episode run for the show. And 6 days before going down, we got a phone call. We had to cancel due to serious health concerns, and then 6 weeks after that phone call, he had passed away. And that's how. But if you think about it, in that sense, that man worked all the way up till the very end. I mean, trying to just pleasing fans, But the one thing, he's always asking me, how am I doing, And I was thinking, well, I want to know about you, but the thought that, or the fact that he was sincerely asking me about myself, about me, and that's what stood out probably the most of anything with him, was how just kind and sincere he was, and yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right when you say that. Supportive and encouraging instead of being self-absorbed and greedy. Yeah, that's I can I can vouch for that 100%. TJ said, yes, Chili Billy is definitely a Pittsburgh legend and a class act. Rest in peace. Yes, definitely. Brad says, streaming service apps is taking over the world. Yeah, that's the way to go. I'd always had my heart set on being the next host in Pittsburgh, as far as like being on WPXI, and was in talks with them. You might remember that from a few years ago, and it didn't. It's funny. It's so funny. I'm not saying anything derogatory toward WPXI. That's the channel WIIC, and then later it became WPXI, but but I do recognize that that's really, as neat as that would have been, and I would have loved it, and if they picked up the phone right now, and stuck to our original agreement on what we both were looking at, then I would have loved, absolutely loved to have yeah, been, because I don't live that far away from Pittsburgh. I mean, I really don't. I don't live that far away to where I couldn't go and even do stuff. And I wouldn't have even had to have been in the studio, quite frankly. But I think those days, there's so much more you can do now. It's just a matter of getting the audience. And I was actually, I'm not gonna. I was very pleasantly surprised with my viewership on the weekend. So I will say that. And now this hopefully will be included in those numbers once that channel's back up and running. And if this is part of that programming that goes on every Saturday night, then I will, those numbers will reflect on this show as well. And for that, I'll be very, very happy. It's 8:51. I'll throw this schedule up here because I could ramble on and without realizing it sometimes. Ghoul World Order says, when somebody is from Pittsburgh when they call professional wrestlers studio wrestlers. Yeah, that's real old school. Huh? TJ says, Chili Billy left us one hell of a legacy. I'm thankful I got to see him. Yeah, me too. Me too. Such a nice guy. TJ says, doggone, we only got 10 minutes of therapy left. That's funny. Paul used to say that. Where's Paul at? I haven't seen him for a while. I wrote, and I hope everything's all right with him, but I miss seeing him on here. David says, second glass of champagne. Cheers. All right. Cheers, David. So let me throw this schedule up again. This is kind of fun talking about this too, particularly when it comes to Chili Billy and Chiller Theater. One of my again, if you're new on here, relatively new, if you haven't heard the mention of this, beginning of the show, we had mentioned the Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, or that's my promotion, where I wanted to give as old school as I could, but still being relevant to today's audience, and I think we did a pretty good job at that. But I talked to Chili Billy about that stuff, Bill Cardell. We talk about wrestling and Chiller. Okay, now those are the two things that I went off and did on. I had my own wrestling show and had my own Chiller show. So you can see how much that stuff influenced me as a kid, because it was one of the loves I had, because it was family time. Both of those shows was experienced as a family around the TV set. So I don't know. I guess it just stuck with me, and I just wanted, if I could recreate that to some kid out there, or some viewers who or maybe watching it with their kids. And I've had a lot of viewers tell me that they watch it with their kids. That's so rewarding to me, to hear that. Glam says, it speaks well of Brian's character that Chili Billy was on board with things and willing to be involved. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Well done, Brian. Thank you very much. I do very much appreciate that. Very much. Thank you. I just love this stuff. I really do. Schedule for tonight. Okay, at 9 p.m., Chiller Night Theater, the movie is The Snake People. Okay, at 11 p.m., the Chiller Chat tonight is the one that we did earlier this week on the 11th. And 11:30, Chiller Night Theater, the movie is The Brain That Wouldn't Die. That Chiller Chat, by the way, is kind of a walk down memory lane, kind of reminiscing about the first few episodes of Chiller Chat 13 years ago this month. So 1:30 a.m. Did I say 11:30? The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Well, if I didn't, I'm saying it now. Plus, it's on the screen. 1:30 Chiller Chat. May the 4th be with you. That's from Star Wars Day. 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter. So there you have it. There you have it. And TJ says, to the Chiller Night crew, have a good week. And to quote the immortal Red Green, keep your sticks on the ice. Okay. Brad, so thank you, TJ. You too. Brad says the Chili Billy legacy will never die. No, never will. John says you have been watching Chiller Night pre-show with Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you, if you do go to Facebook jail, cell number 116700, the spoon is under the bed. All right, but don't tell anybody. Stay chilled, keep through it. All right, well, we're glad you got to join us again tonight, John, and to give us that little bit of a little secret about the spoon. Gold World Order says red green rocks. All right, 856. Oh, hey, I wanted to say this. That illustration right there is by Scott Lubin. He was one of the illustrators of the Chiller Night Spirit of Halloween book. That was the book that was to launch the book series, which I still 100% intend to follow up on. But this is the first Chiller Night novelette, and it was illustrated by Scott Lubin and cover art by Rick Whitlow. And this is actually, you can either go to chillernighttheater.com, go to the store, you can click on that right there and get your own copy of Chiller Night, the Spirit of Halloween. Figured I'd plug that. It's been a while. It's been a while. You know, I do have a book out there. I didn't write it. Jennifer Sadler. I did. The only thing I wanted to do with this is I was very specific on the opening. I gave her a general outline, and she just did a fantastic job filling in the rest. So, neat story there, and really cool illustrations. Brad says 5 minutes till Chiller Night Theater. Get your Roku's ready. Well, we'll hit streammedia.tv anyways. Yeah. Unless it's just now coming on Roku availability, still go to streammedia.tv, streammedia.tv, you can watch it streamed. And of course, for those of you who are within the Stream TV local television access viewership, you can watch it on TV, of course. I have a lot of those as well. Brad says, and have a Corona. Don't mind if I do. All right, folks, it is 8:58. Prepare yourselves for shocking fun and fright tonight with Chiller Night Theater. Glam says, another super night. Thanks all. Be safe and have a great week. All right, everybody. Thank you once again. Have a good night. Have a good Chiller Night, and we will see you next week. Don't forget Chiller Chat on Tuesday, by the way. All right, see ya.